What is up, everybody? It's Sam here with BFPGear.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Shocker era. Well, not this one at least, but rather the collaboration between Shocker Paintball and Method Development. For those that don't know, Method Development is an aftermarket company that has been making some bolt systems and extra bolt kits and stuff like that for some high-end paintball markers out there, as well as some other like little, bits and bobs, pieces and parts for other guns out there. But they've been hard at work, and well, they're doing a collaboration with Shocker Paintball, which means they've got to be doing something right. But we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Method Shocker era. A couple things to go over before we unbox this bad boy. Price point on all of these is going to be $899, and whatever colorway that you see, just know that there's only 25 of them out there in the world. So if you see one that you really like, you gotta swipe it up immediately, because once they're gone, they are gone for good. With that said, we're going to see you guys and gals after the intro. Okay, so I've got a standard Shocker era here, and there's not really a whole lot of like cosmetic differences between these two markers, but we are going to grab our Method Shocker here. Again, $899. It's going to come in this box here, but inside is what we are looking for. So let's crack this open. And all right, so before we get into the big stuff here, the meat and potatoes, you get this like pleather freak barrel insert like wrap, and it actually has all of your inserts in here. So you're going to get every insert. Even though you see that there's like different black ones here, these two are like the ones that come with the Lux. So, and they finally did something that I really like. Large bore, and it tells you that bore size. So you are going to be getting a full aluminum freak insert kit. Actually, let's keep that 688 here, because I see all the inserts in here, which means we probably don't have an insert inside of the box. So let's go ahead and move this stuff off to the side. And this one says black and white, so we got the black and white Method Shocker here. And you got a quick start guide, a barrel sock, probably the best Allen key set that you can get, and then of course a little bit of lubricant. Let's go ahead and grab. So yeah, no insert in here, so let's go ahead and just shove the insert into this. Just get the barrel going. All right, and then we've got ourselves the Method Shocker itself. So you do have slight cosmetic differences here. So you are going to get pretty much like a black bodied Shocker. I believe there's a bunch of other colorways out there. It has an accent kit already installed, as you can see. We got that barrel back, the trigger, the ASA knob, even the back cap. And then one cool thing too is like right here along the body, they just made some like little cuts here and there, and yeah, they just anodized it the same color, and you're going to get that on both sides. Another really cool thing that you get here as well is the back cap says Method Development Products on here. And let's go ahead and just put the barrel on so we can get the full kind of like accoutrement. All right, so here we've got our Method Shocker, and then here we have our regular Shocker. So cosmetically, yeah, a little bit different, but not like a huge difference to the point where it's just going to be like, night and day. It's just that one's noticeable over the other. You can obviously easily identify this to be a Method Shocker. And then the back cap on the standard Shockers just say SP for Shocker Paintball. But the big change here is going to be what's inside of the markers. So let's go ahead and pop the bolt systems out here. So we have the stock bolt system here from the Shocker era, and then we're going to have the Method Development bolt kit. So Method Development bolt kit here, I mean, you just look at these, they are immediately different. Like these back parts here, pretty much the same. But as soon as you get past these 3 O-rings in the back, you have a completely different bolt system. Now the parts are probably similar in how they come together and stuff like that. And and we are going to go over that real quick, but let's go ahead and just get the shockers, the stock bolt system kind of going here. So we have our little bolt guy, we got our bolt can, and then all of these come with the post. This one's got a lot of grease on it too. But one thing that they've done differently is you have the bolt and then you have the post. So the ball sits in front here and then the bolt's completely open. What Method Development has done is they've completely eliminated that post on the inside, so you're going to have that maximum airflow. And the ball just sits right here on all these nubs, and it is a soft tip bolt, which means you're going to get better paint handling overall, and you don't have to worry about paint rolling back into the bolt system or anything. And then the other thing that's kind of cool about this bolt system as well is that as I'm like unthreading it, I feel a little bit of resistance, and it's like we still have that shuttle in the back here. Just the spring on the stock core is right there inside of the shuttle, and then on the Method Development core, it's actually a part of our little bolt guide prop shaft here. I just call these prop shafts. I'm just used to that part from like the old Eclipse days. But now we're going to go ahead and take off the actual bolt guide itself. And this bolt guide is just one piece. And then the bolt system, now I think this is actually like a really, really cool thing here, is when we pop this out, it's actually got some similarities to the GOR5. Not so much in like the bolt itself, but there's only one O-ring on the bolt here. And then one thing to just touch on real quick, this is the ice coating that is found on like Lux bolts and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of that because like the bolt action is like super smooth and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and move some of these parts off to the side. But if we were to put the bolts like side by side, they're not interchangeable at all. But one thing on the inside of this bolt can here for the Method Development core is that not only do you have your O-ring on the inside here, but the bumper also sits on the inside. So you don't need to worry about switching up O-rings or anything like that. And then this just pops right in. And the bolt action on this is incredibly smooth, which leads me to believe that this air chamber, like everything that kind of like combines together here with this Method bolt system, is going to have more air in the core there. And I think we're going to get a smoother, softer, and quieter shot, and that should overall improve efficiency as well. So I'm really curious about that, but I'm also curious about the sound signature, if it's going to sound maybe similar or the same as the stock shocker era. But there's only one way to find out, and I'm going to grab some paint, I'm going to grab a loader, and we're going to rip some paint through the Method shocker and see how it sounds, how it shoots, and how it feels. Well, there's just one thing left to do. Method shocker era. We have not chronoed this. This is straight out of the box. Got my personal air tank on it, and then of course the Spire 5. We're not bore matching paint. We just threw in the 688 bore. Shooting Dynasty. Let's see how this thing shoots. Let's see if there's like a big improvement or anything. Oh, that airs up really nice actually. Like, it's actually like really nice. Alright, we're going to turn the gun on, and let's just get some shooting impressions here. Turn the loader on. Huh. So, it still feels like a shocker era, but it almost has kind of like a weird mix of almost like, I don't know how to describe it without talking about like any other like kind of paintball gun out there, but it's almost like a shocker era and like a DSR or a GOR5 had a baby. Sounds very snappy, still has kind of like that little bit of like feedback to it, you know, when I'm shooting it, but like it's super smooth on that like forward stroke of motion. And I mean, I'm not shooting any like target or anything. I'm not like super far away from anything, but it shoots really good. Like I would even argue that it's like quieter than the stock shocker era. And I'd be curious to see what the efficiency is on it, but we're not going to do that, unfortunately. But this thing feels great. I think this Method core is a huge improvement. And then on top of that, you're only spending about, I think it's like $100 extra, or at least at the video of this time being made, to get a full aluminum insert kit with the Freak XL barrel. So like, these cores probably retail for somewhere between like $150 to like $200 if you were to buy one separately. I'm just spitballing and guessing off of that. But getting that upgraded internal and a full barrel kit for $899 is really, really hard value to beat. And honestly, with only 25 of each color being made in the world, I'd probably pick one of these up if you're trying to ball out on a budget and get something that's very like high-end and tournament grade without spending that tournament grade price. I think this is an awesome product, and honestly, I kind of wish that they would be just making more of these, but since they're limited 25 of each color, I'd say pick them up ASAP. And speaking of picking them up ASAP, we've got some of them available right now on BFPGear.com. So head over to the website and get those orders in on the Method Shocker era.